where 8-year-olds go to bed after dinner and never wake, up not from illness, but from starvation. Today, you'll hear from someone who watched their neighbor's child die, watched their own daughter collapse from hunger, and made an impossible choice: risk death to escape or stay and die slowly. This is the story of 25 farmers who chose to run, and what happened to the 10 who didn't survive. If these stories matter to you, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support helps us bring these untold stories to light. Together, we can be a voice for those who cannot speak. The 8-year-old next door had dinner and went to sleep. He never woke up. He starved to death. Farmers in North Korean collective farms can't eat what they grow. Managers take everything. All they get is whatever comes through the ration system. 3 months later, 25 farmers from a collective in North Hamgyong province vanished without a trace. What choice did they make? And what happened to them? That night, the child next door stopped breathing. He was 8 years old. He'd eaten dinner and gone to bed. By morning, he was gone. Starvation. This was spring 2024, Musan County, North Hamgyong province. I was 35, a work team leader. Electricity came maybe 3 or 4 days a month. Rations had stopped long ago. Every day we farmed. We planted seeds, weeded fields, harvested crops. But we couldn't eat what we grew. The managers came and took everything. We got the leftover stalks, a few potatoes, whatever roots we could dig from the mountains. The children survived on grass porridge. My daughter, my son, every night. They clutched their stomachs before falling asleep. People in the village started dropping one by one. Malnutrition, illness, cold. When someone died, rations came 3 days later. Dead man's share. We divided it and survived a little longer. 25 of us from the work team gathered. Someone spoke, voice trembling. If we stay, we all die. It was true. We were already dying. The only question was speed. Die a little faster or die a little slower. After that, we met often. We didn't speak, but our eyes said everything. Everyone knew staying meant death. Something had to be done. My daughter collapsed around that time. She was walking home from school and sank down at our gate. I lifted her up, but her legs had no strength. No hospital, no medicine. She just lay there breathing. That night I made my decision. We had to leave. If we stayed, my daughter, my son, my wife, everyone would die. I wanted to live. I wanted my children to live. The others felt the same. Everyone had family. Everyone wanted to survive. We started talking carefully. Gathering whispers, someone knew people near the border. Rumors of others who'd crossed into China. There was no real plan. Just one certainty. Stay here and die. The managers kept squeezing us. Work harder, harvest more. Whether we starved didn't matter to them. Maybe it was better if we died. We weren't people. Just machines that worked. Expendable parts that would break eventually. We'd lived that way since birth. It seemed normal. But watching the neighbor's child die, watching my daughter collapse, I realized something. This wasn't life. We weren't living. We were dying. And once you see that, there's no going back. News came in fall 2024. Someone who'd disappeared from our farm 2 months earlier was in China. Word came through his relatives near the border. Over there, people ate rice, even meat. That one sentence was enough. That night, I called the work team together. One by one, staggered timing, quietly to my house. The security bureau couldn't know. When all 25 gathered, I shared what I'd heard. No one spoke. Long silence. We all knew what crossing the border meant. Get caught political prison camp. Bad luck execution. But staying also meant death. One person looked up, nodded slowly. Another nodded. 1, 2, 3. Eventually all 25 were nodding. Words weren't necessary. That night we decided. Cross into China. Preparation was secretive. Move all at once, the security bureau would know. We split into groups of 5, 1 week apart. Agreed on a meeting point, different routes for each group. We needed money. Broker fees, border guard bribes, living expenses in China. We started selling what we had. Slowly, bit by bit, without raising suspicion. Household items, farm tools, even winter clothes. Discovery meant the end. The security bureau always watched. Who sold what, who met whom, who went where they knew everything. We acted normal, went to the farm, attended meetings, shouted slogans. While shouting, we counted down inside. November came. The first group left. 5 people vanished at night. Next morning, no one looked for them. The managers pretended not to notice. Someone else would fill those spots soon enough. A week later, the second group. Then the third. Our turn came. The night before departure, I visited my parents' graves, bowed in darkness, took a handful of soil, said I'd return, but I knew it was a lie. The moment I crossed that border, I became a traitor. I'd never come back to this land. Departure day, I went to the work team as usual. Worked as usual. Laughed and talked as usual. The sun set. I went home. My wife and children were waiting. Minimal luggage. A few clothes. Dried corn. Soil from my parents' graves. That was all. 11 at night, we left the house. I didn't look back. Looking back might break me. At the village entrance, we met the group. Confirmed each other in darkness. No words. Just started walking. We walked for 3 days. Hid during daylight, moved only at night. Over mountains and over again. Detoured around checkpoints. I carried my son on my back. My wife held our daughter's hand and followed. Third night, we saw the Tumen River. Across that river was China, where we could live or die. But there was nowhere to go back to. The person in front went down to the river. We followed. And we walked to survive. The sound of water. The Tumen River, about 30 meters wide, shallow but fast-moving. Late November, the water was ice cold. We hid in the forest by the riverbank, waiting for sunset. 5 people, me, my wife, our daughter and son, and 1 team member. We found small markers carved in trees by earlier groups. This spot was safe. We had to avoid border patrol schedules, usually 9 at night and 3 in the morning. We waited for midnight, the safest time. The children were shaking. From cold or fear, hard to tell. My wife held them tight. I stared across the river. That was China. Midnight. Our team member stood first, went down to the river. We followed, lifted our bags overhead. Couldn't let them get wet. He entered the water, up to his knees, then his waist. We followed. The water cut through to the bone. Feet slipped on stones. The current was stronger than expected. I carried my son. My wife held our daughter. We walked slowly. Moving fast meant falling. Halfway across, suddenly light. Border patrol. We froze. The light moved toward the river. Getting closer. Our team member signaled. Get down in the water. We lowered ourselves slowly. Water up to our necks. The children held their breath. The light passed over our heads. Footsteps of a guard. Close, then distant. I don't know how long we stayed like that. Much later, the light disappeared completely. We rose slowly. My whole body felt frozen. We started walking again, faster this time. The patrol could return. Crossed the middle, reached the far bank. The water grew shallower. Finally, my foot touched the other side. China. We quickly left the riverbank, entered the forest. I looked back, North Korean land, a place I could never return to. Then gunshots behind us. Another group had been crossing behind us. They'd been spotted. The shots continued. Screams. We held our breath, hid in the forest. Couldn't move. Movement meant discovery. The gunshots stopped. Silence across the river. I couldn't tell who died, who got caught. All we knew, we'd crossed alive. After hiding for a while, our team members stood. Time to move. We went deeper into the forest. Didn't look back. 25 had started. Not everyone crossed that river. How many died that night? How many got caught? We didn't know. We just headed for the meeting point, where the survivors would gather. 2 days' walk. We arrived to find 15 people. 15 out of 25 survived. The other 10 never made it across. No one cried. We couldn't. We were in China now, and getting caught meant being dragged back to North Korea. Those of us who survived made another promise. Go together to the end. Together, all the way to South Korea. That night, we crossed more than water. We crossed the line between life and death. China wasn't freedom. After crossing, we headed for an ethnic Korean village, a place someone who'd crossed earlier told us about. Someone there would take us in. We arrived at dawn. A rundown house waited for us. We knocked. An elderly Korean-Chinese woman opened the door. Seeing us, she quickly pulled us inside. Hurry, get in! Can't be seen outside. The house was cramped. 15 people could barely breathe inside. But it was warm. The woman boiled hot water. For the first time in days, we drank something warm. Can't stay long. Public security patrols frequently. She was right. 3 days later, we scattered. Staying together was dangerous. We decided to move family by family. Our family went to a construction site, a building project. We'd heard they paid daily wages and hired people. Even without ID, The site supervisor knew we were North Korean defectors. Didn't care. We were cheap labor. We worked 12 hours a day, carrying bricks, mixing cement, leveling floors. Our daily wage was half what Chinese workers got. But we took it. At least we wouldn't starve. They gave us meals and a place to sleep. A shipping container, but it had a roof. Still, we lived tense. Public security could raid any time. Caught defectors got dragged straight back to North Korea. We always prepared to run. Bags packed, escape routes scouted. About 2 months in, public security came to the site. A raid. We hid quickly behind the containers. The supervisor blocked them. Everyone here has verified IDs. They left, but we knew. We couldn't stay anymore. That night, we left the site. Didn't even collect our full wages. Next day, we heard public security came back and checked everyone's IDs. We went to the countryside, worked at a Korean-Chinese farm. The owner knew we were defectors, but took us in. He needed workers. Spring, we planted rice. Summer, we weeded. Fall, we harvested. Same work as North Korea. The difference here, we could eat what we harvested. But we weren't free. Couldn't leave the village. Getting caught meant the end. We stayed on the farm. A hidden life. A year passed. We survived, but we weren't living. Just hiding. No different from North Korea. Around then, news came. One of our group got caught by public security. Dragged back to North Korea. We knew then. This place wasn't for staying either. China was just a place where we didn't starve. Not freedom. We were still fugitives. Could be caught any time. That night we packed again. We knew even China had to be left behind. The message came by phone text. Kim Chul-soo caught. Taken back north. Kim Chul-soo had crossed the river with us. Worked at our farm. His capture meant we could be caught any time. That night we left the farm. Couldn't stay in one place anymore. The scattered group started contacting each other again. Everyone thought the same thing. China was over. Spring 2025. We carefully gathered in one place. 13 out of 15 showed up. 2 couldn't be reached. Where they went, whether they were caught, we didn't know. We met in a back room of a Korean-Chinese restaurant. The owner said he'd help, but demanded money. We had no choice. You need to go to Thailand. Someone said it. Get to Thailand. Go to the South Korean embassy. Apply for passage to Korea there. The problem was how. China to Thailand too far. Couldn't fly. No IDs. Had to go overland through brokers. We needed money. Pooled everything we'd saved in a year. Still not enough. We decided to work more and save. Dangerous, but no choice. 3 months, we worked like mad. Construction sites, restaurants, farms, anything. Night shifts, too. Slept 3 or 4 hours a day. The children had to stay hidden. Meanwhile, news came another person caught. Someone who came with us. Caught in a public security raid. We became more careful. Hid deeper. Summer 2025, we finally had enough money. Met a broker. Chinese. He said he could get us to Thailand. 3,000 yuan per person. You die on the way, not my problem. You get caught, I don't know you. The broker's terms. But we had to go. No other way. Night before departure, all 13 gathered one last time. Someone said, let's go together to the end. We nodded. We'd crossed the Tumen together. Survived China together. This time, too, together. But everyone knew we might not all make it to the end. Already, 10 out of 25 were gone. 2 caught in China, only 13 left. Next morning before dawn, we left. Got in the broker's truck, the cargo hold. Had to hide among the freight. No light, barely any air. The truck started moving. We couldn't tell where we were going. Just endured the shaking vehicle. The children whimpered. My wife covered their mouths. Days like that. When the truck stopped, the broker gave us water and bread. Only then could we use the bathroom. Back in the truck, locked in all day again. About a week in, someone collapsed. Couldn't breathe properly. We told the broker, need a hospital. Hospital means everyone gets caught. Endure or die. Pick one. The broker was cold. We supported the person, endured. Fortunately, he improved after a few days. Left China, entered Laos. The border was most dangerous. The broker bribed the border guards. We held our breath. Crossed the border. Not China anymore, but still not safe. Thailand was still far. Still, we kept going. Nowhere to go back to. In Laos, the truck broke down. The broker said, wait 2 days. We waited in an abandoned shack in the middle of the jungle. Water and food running out. The broker never came back. 3rd day, someone said, he's not coming. Took our money and ran. It was true. We'd been abandoned, in the middle of the jungle with no money and no map. We wandered for 10 days. No map, just headed south. All we knew, Thailand was south. Found villages, secretly got water and food. Sometimes had to steal, to survive. One person got sick. Mosquito bites in the jungle. Malaria. High fever. We took turns carrying him. But he grew heavier. 2 weeks in, he died. Middle of the jungle. We buried him under a tree. A nameless grave. 13 became 12. We kept walking. No other choice. Stop, and we'd die too. About a month in, another person collapsed. Exhaustion. Couldn't walk anymore. We tried to carry him, but he refused. I'll kill you all. Leave me. We left him near a village, so he'd have a chance. But we knew we'd never see him again. 12 became 11. Fall 2025, we finally reached the Thai border. 2 months it took. 25 started, 15 reached China, 13 went to Laos. Now only 11 remained. Crossing the border was easier than expected. Light security. We crossed at night. Finally stepped on Thai soil. But there was no joy. Too many lost. 14 people gone. Some dead, some caught, some vanished. In Thailand, we headed for Bangkok. The South Korean embassy was there, we'd heard. But Bangkok was far. No money for buses. We walked again, sometimes hitched rides on trucks. Walked another month. When we reached Bangkok, we were rags. Clothes torn, bodies skeletal. The children could barely walk. We found the South Korean embassy, but couldn't get to the front. Thai police spotted us first. Do you have passports? We didn't. We were illegal immigrants. The police arrested us, but we didn't run. Instead, we said, we're from North Korea. The police hesitated, looked at us. We kept talking. Send us to South Korea. The police took us to the station. Interrogation. Where we were from, how we got there, we told everything. The police seemed skeptical, but detained us. A detention center. No different from jail. But we felt relieved. Here, we wouldn't be dragged back to North Korea. Days later, someone from the South Korean embassy came. Interviewed us. Confirmed we really came from North Korea. We told everything. From the Hamgyong farm through the Tumen River, China, Laos, all the way here. The embassy person said, you can go to South Korea. Please wait a little. That night, we slept peacefully for the first time. No need to run. We waited 3 months in detention. The South Korean embassy needed time to verify our identity. Confirm we really came from North Korea, weren't lying. We answered the same questions countless times. Which farm are you from? Where did you cross the Tumen? What did you do in China? Same answers every time. No reason to lie. We really came from North Korea. Really wanted to go to South Korea. Detention was hard. Cramped room, several people together. Nothing to do all day. Just waiting. Not knowing when we could go to South Korea. Sometimes fear crept in. Could we really go to South Korea? What if they sent us back to North Korea? Many sleepless nights. The children struggled. My daughter was 10 now, my son 7. They didn't understand why we had to be in jail when we could leave. My wife comforted them. Just wait a little, we'll go somewhere good, you won't be hungry there. The children nodded, but their eyes looked anxious. Those who came with us grew weary too, all 11 in the same detention center. We relied on each other. When someone wanted to give up, the others held them back. We made it this far, just a little more. That's how we endured. About 2 months in, one person gave up. Couldn't wait anymore. Said he'd just stay in Thailand. We tried to stop him, but it was useless. I'm exhausted. What's the point of going to South Korea? He applied for refugee status with the Thai government. 11 became 10. We kept waiting. Didn't give up. We'd lost too much getting here. Couldn't quit now. 3rd month, the embassy person came again. This time, good news. Identity verification complete. We'll arrange plane tickets to South Korea. Hearing those words, I couldn't believe it. We could really go to South Korea. We hugged each other and cried. Tears of joy. A week later, we left detention. Embassy staff came for us. Went to the airport. First time on a plane. The children were fascinated. We were nervous. The plane took off. Thailand grew distant outside the window. We could see the path we'd walked for 2 months. The jungle, the mountains. Walking that path, we'd lost so much. Lost 14 people. 25 started. 11 reached Thailand. 1 gave up now. Just 10 heading to South Korea. On the plane, I thought about those who didn't make it. The ones who died at the Tumen, who got caught in China, who died in the Laos jungle. They'd wanted to reach South Korea too. We had to live for them. experience the freedom they dreamed of. 5 hours flying, we arrived at Incheon Airport. Stepping off the plane, the ground felt solid. This was South Korea. Airport staff greeted us, welcomed us. Hearing those words, tears came. We'd finally arrived at the end of a long journey to survive. From Incheon Airport, we went to Hanawon, a place where North Korean defectors learn South Korean life. 3 months there, learning the language, the culture. So different from North Korea. Most amazing was the supermarket. Goods overflowing, rice, meat, fruit, vegetables everywhere. No one asked for ration cards. If you had money, you could buy anything. At first I couldn't believe it. This much food existed. Unimaginable in North Korea. We stood in the supermarket for a long time, just staring at the shelves. The children tasted bread for the first time. Said it was sweet. First time with chocolate, too. Watching them smile brought tears. This is why we came this far. After Hanawon, we got a small apartment. Government support. 2 rooms, bathroom, kitchen. Electricity 247, clean tap water. Found work, too. Started at a factory. Hard, but we got paid. On a set date, deposited in our account. First paycheck, I couldn't believe it. Getting paid for work done. But adapting wasn't easy. Different speech, different culture. People walked fast, talked fast. We kept feeling left behind. Sometimes I thought of North Korea. The hometown mountains, my parents' graves, people who worked the farm with us. There, people still starved to death. People surviving on grass porridge like we did. We defected because we were starving. Not searching for freedom. We just wanted to live. Didn't want our children to starve. That was all. Even now, the same thing happens in North Korea. Farm but can't eat. Work but no rations. Children dying of malnutrition. But no one speaks. Speaking means getting caught. A year passed. Now we're living like South Koreans. The children go to school. My wife and I go to work daily. Living ordinary days. Sometimes we meet those who came with us. All 10 scattered across South Korea. When we meet, we remember. The 15 who didn't make it here. Because of their sacrifice, we're here. Late 2025, I decided to record this story. The world needs to know. What happens in North Korea? Why we risked our lives to escape. I hope this story reaches someone. People still in North Korea. People dreaming of escape. And people who forget how precious freedom is. We survived. Only 10 out of 25, but we're here. And we testify to North Korea's truth, to what we experienced. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope more people hear it. Please subscribe and like to help spread this story. Help us reveal North Korea's reality. Thank you.